Much like my dating history, Clown in a Cornfield is 1, full of clowns, and 2, at no point did I know what was going to happen next. But welcome back, and once again, thank you for trusting me with your full spoiler movie reviews. That thing I do where I watch movies and then I tell you all about them. As always, I am unpaid and unsponsored, and spoilers, all the spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, you can go ahead and scroll. I won't be offended. Spoilers. Okay, here we go. The very long-awaited and much anticipated Clown in a Cornfield, based off of the book by a man named Adam, I think his last name is Cesare, and apparently everybody but me has read this. But that's fine, because it left me going blind, and I have a whole thought process that I'm going to have to make separate from this video. 1, because it's long, and 2, it's very, very niche, but we will come back around to that. So anyways, what's it about? Well, here's the deal on that end. It feels a lot like watching Twilight again for the first time, but less with the sullen emo vibe, and more how you would expect Bella to react to all the shenanigans going on in said situation. Which sounds weird, but it's kind of awesome. Okay, now what's this about? This girl named Quinn and her doctor dad moved from Philadelphia to somewhere, Kettle Springs, in the middle of the U.S., some kind of corn state. It became kind of famous like 100 years ago when the corn syrup factory opened. Well, like every single person, it seems like over the age of 30 in this town is mean as shit. Teachers, servers, old ladies, the sheriff, everybody is a dick. Why? Well, at this point we don't know. But Quinn makes friends with a few people. One is a guy named Rust, who's a redneck, self-proclaimed by the way. He likes fishing, he likes hunting, but people think he's weird, which confuses the shit out of me. What the fuck do you mean you live in the middle of, like, Wyoming or Iowa? Basically bubblefuck nowhere. And there's only one guy who's a redneck. I refuse to believe that, okay? Yee-yees should be the commonality here. But whatever. Then she makes friends with this group of people. One guy's name is Cole, and his dad is the mayor. And his family basically founded the corn syrup company that gave everybody their jobs. Until recently, because there was an electrical fire and it burned down the corn syrup factory and put a bunch of people out of their jobs. And so lots of people are unemployed right now, and they're really upset about it. And they actually blame the kids for it because they were in there making the video, because they make like this YouTube series about the clown from the corn syrup factory being evil and killing people. And so everybody's convinced that they did it while making the video. Like they burned down the corn syrup factory. Well, everything crazy really starts on like Founders Day, which is like a big parade thing. One of the guys stripped down to his skivvies. He had on a clown mask. He was riding a unicycle. He was like juggling something with fire, but he dropped one when the police were trying to mess with him, and it lit one of the parade floats on fire and caused chaos. And the sheriff, being an absolute dick, arrested the 4 of them because they looked suspicious. And then they got out of jail. Everybody got grounded. But then they all snuck out to go to like this barn party that they do every year afterwards. Oh yeah, none of that is before 2 of the guys in the little friend group got murdered. One was stabbed in his house by a clown, wrapped up into a tarp and dragged out. Although I don't know why they laid down a tarp. Like, they didn't do that for anybody else. They laid down a tarp specifically for him. And we don't know what happened to the rest of him. And then the second guy, he was like in his gym doing fucking bench pressing with the worst fucking form I have ever seen. I am seriously worried about that man's back. Well, the fucking clown stood over him and was like pushing down the damn bar against his neck and had a saw and cut his head off. And then he stole his head. So when the party goes down and like the clown is coming out, he fucking threw the head of the guy, and his girlfriend picked up thinking it was fake. But surprise, it wasn't. And so the clown is out here terrorizing people. All of a sudden, old rednecky Rust comes out and shoots the clown. And we all think it's over for about a fraction of a second. And then like 10 more fucking clowns just come out of the cornfield. Just like chasing the teens around and fucking killing their asses. And then another clown steals Dr. Daddy and forcing him to fix one of the clowns that have been hurt. Think like the mob. It's a lot of trying to run away from all these damn clowns. And people getting taken out. I think Quinn gets kidnapped, taken to the basement. I'm sorry, it wasn't the basement. She was taken inside like the factory that burned down. And come to find out, all of this has been set up by the mayor, which is her little guy friend's dad, because he's the one who started the fire in order to collect insurance money. But that's not all. Apparently, killing teenagers dressed as clowns is a time-honored tradition in town every couple of decades because they don't like teenagers and they think they ruin their values. They're killing the Gen Alpha kids. They were killing the grunge kids of the 90s, which you see at the very beginning. They were killing the hippie kids of the 70s, and so on and so forth. And then there's big fights. They kill the clowns. They get away. And everything seems right until the very end when one of those fucking Jack-in-the-Boxes that have been very ominous up until now shows up in Quinn's car, which I'm assuming leads to a part 2. And also I think this is like a whole series of books, so yeah, probably. The end. Now, did I like it? Yes! Oh my gosh, this was so much fucking fun. For a second there, I didn't think I was going to like it. I thought this was going to be really predictable. And wrong! I was wrong! And I really do mean, I feel like I watched Twilight for the first time again. It's campy. It's both taking itself and not taking itself seriously all at the same time. You got the new girl with her hot dad running around with a guy who doesn't want to do any kind of wienering. You got another guy who stands there in the background all broody. Every once in a while there's another scene of the bad guys doing bad guy things while she's trying to figure out life, and then everything comes together. And the two boys turn out to be in a gay relationship. That's Twilight in a nutshell, mostly. But yes, I love this. I had a fun time. And also, these clowns are not, in fact, as sexy as Art the Clown. Also, Art is above wearing fucking shoes that do the squeaky noise. It's a 10 out of 10 for me as somebody who didn't read the book. Old people dressing as clowns to terrorize children because they were worried that values were at stake. Yeah, I believe it. So 10 out of 10. Okay, bye.